Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here. Welcome back to 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. I'm going to be talking about Valenty and her banner currently out right now. If you guys should be going for it as a player that either has a lot of jewels, no jewels, free to play. I'm going to give you guys all of a different example of what you should and shouldn't do. But in the end of the day, if you guys want to go for this character, you go for this character. It doesn't matter what one person says or another person says or what the data says on the sheets. It's all up to you guys. It's your gems. Have fun with the game. If you want to try out this character because you've seen how it works and it looks really cool, then go for it. If you're skipping because of future unit, then go for it. It's your game. Have fun with it. But in this, I'm going to go down to my thought process of why I'm either going to pull or skip for it and give you guys pros and cons on why she's good and not good all at the same time. Alright, so starting off with the actual banner itself, the banner itself is amazing. Step up banners is just guaranteed. It's 242 gems altogether. You get 3 SSRs, you get the 100 anvils, 10 awakening stones, guaranteed SSR unit over here, and you get this unit guaranteed as well. And along the way, you might get lucky as well to get more things, like more SSR characters. So overall, the banner, as any player, is fantastic. The unit itself, it all depends where you are in the game. If you're free to play, if you buy, if you're whaling, it all depends. Now, Valenty herself, is she a good character? Yes. Is she good in multiple places? Yes. She's good in Geared, Grey Demon, Extreme, and Hell, and she's all the Grey Demons, and she's also good in Ungeared. Now, a lot of people say she's not good in Ungeared, but she still works, because in Ungeared, yeah, she doesn't have the gear to give her resistance that high, but at the same time, the other side doesn't have huge Pierce. If you don't face a Pierce comp team, it still works out because you're still raising your defense like crazy. I'm going to talk about the team comps in a second. And there's plenty of proofs of working and not working just for any kind of team. Like Blue Melee teams, they work and don't work. The Gother Rush teams, they work and don't work. You know what I mean? Hellbrum team, it works and doesn't work. Most of the time it does work though. So every character has that. You can't just go like, oh, but it loses to this. There's no one team that wins to everything. It's just not possible, especially when there's so much RNG involved in hand cards and just, what do you call it, CC, combat class, different types of food. So no matter what, you can make her work. Now, so the banner, if you do pull, good luck. You know what I mean? Is Valenty worth it if you're a free-to-play player? In one case, Valenty's worth it if you have enough gems to pull for her fully, you didn't pull for Blue Meliodas, and you want to counter Blue Meliodas right now. It's going to work out because you have the basically shut down to a Pierce team. So Hausers, Blue Melies, Escanor, if he doesn't crit you, can be shut down with Valenty's power. Does Valenty work on other team comps besides Pierce? Yes, especially if you build her properly with the right team comps, and I'm going to show you that, guys, in a second. So, is she worth it as a free to play? Only if you don't have Blue Meliodas. If you have Blue Meliodas, if you got lucky as any player, I would personally skip her. You could use her and Blue Meliodas on the same team, and that works if you face another Blue Meliodas team, or if you face a Valenty team, it kind of just counters as well too. But if you have Blue Meliodas, your gems should be saved towards Blue Lilia, because Blue Lilia is going to make Meliodas that much stronger, and also her kit's just that good that even just spending your gems on Blue Lilia instead of Valenty over here, it's better, just long term and more team comps and just how powerful the character is. Not to say that Valenty's a bad character, just as that case scenario. If you don't have Blue Meliodas, then yeah, you probably want to get her, especially during this entire week and next week in a couple, I would say about a month or more. You're going to have a lot of good fun with her. From there forward, you're going to have her in Grey Demon. You're going to still use her in some PvP comps. You know what I mean? It's not like she's going to totally die out. She'll totally die out when like certain red team characters come out, like King and Escanor especially, will just annihilate her. But that's with every other character as well too. Like Green Escanor right now can like literally one-shot Blue Meliodas if built properly, and especially if he hits a crit. So with that being said, this character, as anyone who has the gems for it, it's an easy pickup because one, the banner is good, and two, she actually works in PvP right now. Especially if you're going to buy her cosmetics early, you're going to be really good. It's just dominating so many matches. But the thing about Valenty is that her matches take forever. She is really good at lowering all the stats, and you're not getting any damage taken, but the amount of how fast the matches go, they're not fast at all. They take forever, but they're almost like guaranteed wins for the most part. You're gonna have a high win rate compared to other team comps, especially if you face what's really popular right now is Blue Meliodas. Blue Meliodas is so popular right now, and so is like a Cleve team, a Hauser team, you know what I mean? I still see Arthur's being run with Hauser and Gothair, so human teams can take down this team as well, by the way. But the whole point is anything can be beaten. It all depends what you guys want to go for. So free to play, if you don't have Blue Meliodas, think about it. If not, just go towards cosmetics, because cosmetics is actually a better thing to go invest in than this. And the cosmetics currently in the game are very, very good. And you guys might be wondering, well, what cosmetics are you talking about? A lot of people don't realize this, but every cosmetics that's being sold for money ends up in the shop later on for gems. So if I click over here and I go to this setup right here, especially Escanor's and Merlin set, this is for money right now, but in 6 days, 6 hours, you can buy each piece for 30 gems. 30, 60, 90 gems if you want the whole entire set. You don't have to do that all the time, especially Merlin. Merlin's more like grab the headpiece and the weapon and you're good to go. You don't need her armor unless you really like the armor for waifu status. Then that's up to you. But if you have enough to Mercy Valenty and you don't have Blue Meliodas, I would still consider holding off and going towards the cosmetics instead, because the cosmetics on Merlin, the cosmetics on Escanor, the cosmetics on, there's going to be a King one, there's going to be a Gothair one, those are worth your gems more than anything, and that Blue Lilia is worth it more. Now, should you skip a unit totally because of another unit that's coming up that's better? That's up to you guys. So, talking about the featured unit, this is Blue Lilia, and the reason Blue Lilia is such a good unit, it has ult rushback, it's got heals, it's got removed debuffs, ultimate decreases skill ranks, it also depletes ultimate gauge, and then you've got this unique passive that works really well with Blue Demon Meliodas that increases all allies' pierce rate by 50% of the value of the hero's pierce rate. And she already comes with 50% pierce rate naturally. So she's just a really good unit to make Meliodas go crazy damage. Will Valenty shut that down? Yes, especially with the proper build. Will Lilia and Blue Meliodas be used in PvP still? Yes. Will they win matches? Yes, because not everyone's going to run Valenty. Also, out of PvP, you've got yourself Blue Lilia with the Meliodas for fast farming, and farming is very efficient in this game. Also, Lilia works on other team comps just because she has the heals. She's got that pierce rate increase. She's got ult, you know what I mean? She's got everything you pretty much need for a lot of different team comps. So this is why a lot of people are saying to skip, because Blue Lilia should be part of this 100-day anniversary. You know what I mean? Valenty's here to shut down that combo, but at the same time, not everyone's going to have the gear. Not everyone's going to have the gems to pull for this character. So you guys in the end do what you want to do. If you want to go for that team, for the Blue Meliodas, Blue Lilia, go for that team. If you want to go for Valenty, then go for the Valenty team. And speaking of the Valenty team, I'll show you guys an example of what that pretty much is. I don't have Valenty, but I can show you just like what you would build. So one of the examples of the team setup is going to look like this. Again, pretend that Valenty over here, this is Valenty, the blank spot. So Guild Thunder's in the background because his unique passive increases all defense stats by 30%, and that includes resistance. So his unique passive in PvP increases all allies' defense related stats by 30%. So that is including resistance, defense. So that's really, really huge right there, especially with Valenty. You add that with Valenty, we're in the proper setup, which is basically just put the 2 middle sets of the gear to resistance. You can get up to 60% resistance because it's 6% per roll, and you know what I mean? So you add that plus the PvP unique passive from Guild Thunder is another 30%, and then if you eat 30% resistance food, you're just going to have so much resistance. 60% just from Guild Thunder and the food. You've got that 50% or more, depending on your rolls. Just use rare gear if you don't want to use SSR gear on Valenty herself. And then Merlin's shield will be adding more defense to it, so you don't get stunned, you don't get alt gauge rollbacked. It's just really disgusting. And if there's an alt rush team, you can use Gothair, rush Gothair for his ultimate. Merlin puts the ult back as well, you know what I mean? Then you've got a lockout from Gothair, Valenty decreasing defense, Valenty also decreasing attack. It's just a really powerful team. And there's different variants of this as well too, using Hellbrum. You can use Hellbrum, King, and Valenty with Guild Thunder in the back. You can use Green Bond as well too if you wanted to with Valenty, because there's Extort plus the attack down and defense down and all that good stuff. It stacks with Extort. So these teams become very, very powerful. Again, it all depends what you guys want to play. It all depends what you already pulled for. You know what I mean? You do what you got to do. So Valenty would probably come over here instead of Merlin, and that way you would have this going on. You could also just go with a different background. Instead of Gale Thunder, if you want to alt rush, you can do that as well too, but it's better to just have that resistance stacked as much as you can. Some people say to run 3 defense sets. It's not really necessary. You just need to run that resistance in the middle, eat the resistance food, and Gale Thunder resistance, and you're good to go. If you don't eat the resistance food, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's still going to turtle so much. So that's pretty much the team comps. There's more than that, but the biggest one was the Merlin with the Gother, and then you have Valenty and Gale Thunder in the background with that resistance food and the proper resistance armor. So when I say resistance armor, so if you click on the unit, you're going to run basically 2 defense, 4 HP, and the middle pieces, this piece, the necklace, and the earring, when you roll the stats for these, you're basically rolling for, it's not going to show you because I don't have one right now, but you're basically rolling for resistance. So let me go to King over here. I'm taking King's gear, and if I go into change stats, if I click on one of these, I have an option of getting resistance increased by 2 to 6%. So you do that for the earrings, and you do that for the necklace, and it doesn't have to be SSR gear. Just put on the rare gear on that part, and then the rest can be SSR if you like. If you don't have, then rare gear also works, you know what I mean? Or rare and below. But that's basically what you're going to be doing to increase that resistance. So, Valenty, with all this information, guys, it's up to you in the end. I think she's a solid character, especially when it comes to Grey Demon. She's going to be super annoying, and not only now, but later too. You know, every character kind of falls off, you know what I mean? Doesn't really matter. Not every character, but the majority of the characters fall off. So just have fun with the character while it's out. Do what you got to do. But if you're budgeting those gems, think about what I talked about for the cosmetics, Blue Lilia, if you have Meliodas, or if you just want to save for future characters like Red Escanor, Red King, so on and so on. Red King is probably like the equivalent of her, but you don't have to have Red King in the front. Red King can sit in the back, where Valenty has to be in the front. So, there's a lot of options, guys. Hopefully something here kind of just gave you an idea. I'm just trying to help out as much as I can. There is no good or bad. Yes, everything has a come and go, lasts so long, but again, it all depends what you guys want to do with your game. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.